bombers coming over, they missed a lot of them. So they were pretty active there in the beaches, you know, especially at Omaha.
Right.
So we had a real tough time there. They started to about around 6 o'clock or a little after 6 o'clock. They started to land at the beaches, you know.
Okay.
And they lost a lot of the men.
Uh-huh.
It got to the point where in Omaha there was talk about withdrawing, you know. They were losing so many men there.
Uh-huh.
But then they decided, no, they decided to move the ships in real close and bombard them, you know, which they did. And, well, anyways, I was there for about, let's see, 15 days altogether, I think it was. And from there, I went down with the ship. It was a heavy cruiser, went down through the Straits of Gibraltar over to Africa, Oran, North Africa. And we had some repairs down there, and then we went from there to Sicily.
Oh, Sicily.
Yeah, Palermo. I was stationed in a hotel in Palermo. We had our own unit, you know.
Uh-huh.
And we flew from Palermo to Naples.
Okay.
And set up a school in Naples to teach these radio men how to operate this equipment, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then from there we went into southern France. I think it was August 15th, 1944. We established it up front in the southern France, you know. And after that, I come back to the States. Went back to the Washington, and then from there I had delayed orders to get out to the West Coast. I went to the Pacific. And I was on quite a few ships there in the Pacific, but the original one was a destroyer by name of the USS Stanley. And we invaded Okinawa on Easter Sunday morning. We were stationed about 40 miles north of Okinawa, picking up, using the radar stuff to pick up any planes coming in, so we could notify them. They could bring their planes out to meet them, you know.
Right.
We were in north. I was in north of Okinawa, and down the south of Okinawa, the ships were being sunk. They were getting lose a lot of ships, like kind of the kamikazes and stuff. So they sent us down south to replace those ships. I was still on a I was still on a destroyer then. And on the 12th of April in 1945, we got hit by suicide planes, you know.
Kamikazes.
We had fought them off before that, but we got hit twice. One went right through the bow. It was what they called a baka bomb. It was a guy sitting in he was sitting on top of a TNT, really, you know.
All right.
A small plane.
That's right. Yeah.
And it went right through. It was going so fast that it went right through the bow of our ship before it exploded on the other side. And there wasn't any stanchions. It hit in the right place because there wasn't any stanchions there that could hit it.
And you were very lucky.
You were lucky there. Back, it was back another 30 yards. It would have sunk the ship.
Sure, sure.
And then we got hit by a couple of them in the air, but they pulled into a place called Kamarava, which was where they repaired the ships, you know. And we got off of there, and we went on different ships from there. I was actually on my service I was on 13 ships.
13 ships.
And we used to carry our own wreckers. And Then we got after Okinawa, we went into Saipan, and we flew from Saipan to Hawaii.
Okay,
So when the war ended, I was in Hawaii.
in Hawaii.
Yeah, so that was pretty good.
How thick were those bunkers in the bunkers back in D-Day? With the bunkers, how thick were they? Like 7.
Oh, some of them were 18 foot thick or so, you know, just couldn't penetrate them.
And then the Germans had those good guns. And that ship that sunk a half mile
A
from
lot
you,
of ships were pretty much ships.
but you had to pick up people out of the
Oh.
water.
Well, we used to pick up any sailors or so we pick up would bury at sea. Any airmen we picked up, we put on ice, put them in the cooler, bring them back to Southampton when we went back for ammunition, and they'd be taken off there. You know, you couldn't bury them at sea. You took them back to England. Oh.
So a sailor gets buried at sea.
Huh?
A sailor gets buried at sea.
So now, of the places you visited, which were Palermo,
Yeah, Palermo, Sicily,
and
Naples,
Italy, Saipan,
Naples, Italy.
and you were on shore. Which one did you like the best?
Well, I wasn't in Palermo that long, but our unit had a rating where we could do anything, you know. Like when we went to England, when we left, first went over, we went to Scotland. We landed in the Firth of Clyde of Scotland, and then we took a train down to Falmouth, England, you know. And we set up a school down there, which was private, you know, you couldn't get in there.
Top secret,
It was
right?
guarded all the time.
Right.
And then we moved there from there to Exeter, which is north of there. And we set up a place there. There was 8 of us in our unit, and we had 5 trucks, 5 cars, 3 jeeps, and we had 2 or 3 weapons carriers in a truck, you know. So everybody could have a truck. But then we went to Dover, England,
Dover.
on the White Cliffs right there.
Right.
And went to a British school over there. See how they were working out with jamming equipment, you know. And it was pretty interesting, you know. And so we didn't stay. We stayed there probably a week or so. And it
What's-
was.
Is
Well,
Saipan China?
No, Taiwan.
Saipan's Taiwan.
With all the travels, though, was there any one particular place that you liked the best
Well,
when you
let's
stayed and visited
see.
it?
I liked England. I liked Belfast, North Ireland. I was over there for a couple of weeks all by myself, well, with another guy. That's where we put on some equipment on ships coming in,
Oh, I
and
see.
when we left for France, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I liked Ireland.
Ireland.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
I had a good time there.
Uh-huh.
Did you see any
They had
relatives?
they had these clubs. You go in a club, and down below you buy a bottle of booze, you know, whiskey, for $4 or so.
Uh-huh.
And you go upstairs and dance with the girls, and they drink yours. So we had a good time there.
Irish like to have a good time, I know.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
they like to party. They're my mother was Irish Catholic.
My sister likes to party. Loves Ireland. She went to Ireland, my sister, Colleen. And her name's Colleen.
Oh, really? Okay.
Colleen went to Ireland,
She would have been popular.
and they kissed the
Then she fell in a barrel of beer.
they kissed the Blarney Stone. Colleen kissed the Blarney Stone.
Yeah.
Well, now, when you would set up your school, Were you a teacher? What was your job in the school? Were you a teacher?
We were instructors, and we had 2 technicians and 3 instructors, you know, and I was one of the instructors. And we'd bring these guys in and teach them how to operate the equipment and stuff, you know.
Oh yeah.
And the technical part of it would be taught by a technician, you know.
What Dennis's wife wanted you wanted to know. You said that you were going through Ireland and you had some top secret papers on you or something. And you were some papers. You were carrying some papers, something through Ireland, and you had to be. She said that she thought that you said something about carrying some papers and running from people or something.
No, when I was in Ireland, I was in Belfast. I was only about 10 miles from my dad's in-laws, his sister and my cousins. And I met this girl there. She ran an ice cream place. And she made arrangements. She had arrangements that they would sneak me across, go down and see my in-laws, and then sneak me back. But the only trouble was, in the unit I was in, like, if you ever got caught, they'd hold you and turn you to the end of the war, and then you get court-martialed, you know, so I didn't do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, now, when you were an instructor at the school,
Yeah.
were you a very good instructor?
Oh, yeah.
You were.
Oh, yeah.
How do you know that you were good?
Well, I knew it was good because when I went through radar school, I was one of the 5 top men in the radar school. That's why I got to go to Washington. When I went to Naval Research in Washington, and when we got out of there, I had gone through that school and was really one of the top ones of that, you know. We had, let's see, we broke up in the units there, and we had a lieutenant commander, a captain, a warrant officer, and 2 technicians and 3 instructors. And we were scheduled to go to the Pacific. But right at the last minute, we got our orders changed to go to Europe, you know, which was lucky because the people that took our place and went out in the Pacific, they got bad. They got shot. They were put them in PBYs. They got shot down. A lot of them got killed. So we were lucky there, you know.
Right, very lucky.
So I dodged a bullet around there pretty good.
So you were at 18 an instructor,
Yeah.
and when you were sent down to Washington, you said you were in the top 5. That's why you were sent down.
I was in the top 5 out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, where they had
Did you
radar
have
school.
to take an examination? How did you get in the top 5? Was it an exam or
Well,
or just a teacher's recommendation?
no, they took the 5 top. They took actually, I think it was 7 or 8 the top 8 people that graduated school and offered them whether or not they would go to, you know, to the Naval Research Lab. You know, you could turn it down if you wanted, but they didn't say what it was, but it was something special. So I took it.
For 18, yeah, something special.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this ticket worked out pretty good.
When you were in England, he was in England. They used to shoot. You guys would shoot back and forth across the channel.
That was
to scare
that
each
was
other or
when,
something. The Germans.
Well, that's when I went to school over in Dover.
I've been to
England.
Dover.
Calais was 19 miles across, you know.
That's right. That's right.
And what they do at night is we'd fire one off, they'd fire one back, we'd fire one off, they'd fire one back. During the day, we dominated the place because we had an airfield there, and the Mustangs, mostly the Mustangs, would be head over to Calais during the day. They get about a mile from the coast and they turn back, you know. And every once in a while they'd break through and strafe over there, you know. So, but at night it was like a, you know, 101.
Well, now, after the war, were you ever an instructor again? After the war?
Yeah, no, after the war, I had an offer for a job with General Electric. And before I went in the war, I was on the railroad. When I was going to high school, I worked on the railroad. So when I come back, I had this offer from General Electric, and I also had the railroad background. I had seniority from the time I was in high school, and they had a position opening up in the passenger department, you know, the ticket office in where I was from, you know, which was in Syracuse, New York. So instead of going to GE, I went back with the railroad. Then I stayed with the railroad until I retired.
Right.
Till at age what? You were labor relations, right?
Well, I was in the passenger, I was in a ticket office when I went to Rochester as a passenger agent, and from there I went to, I left the passenger department, went into labor relations, you know, got transferred back to Syracuse, and then I eventually was sent to New Haven, Connecticut, and then back to Buffalo, then to Philadelphia, where I retired in Philadelphia.
Oh, in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I started out as a messenger in 1942 in DeWitt Yards in Syracuse, and I retired in Philadelphia in 1989 as senior director of labor relations for Conrail.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's tremendous. Tremendous.
Yeah.
Well,
It was it was pretty
When
good.
you were talking with GE, what kind of job did GE want you to do?
Technician.
Technician?
Yeah. And you could have probably gone up from there, you know.
What's the difference between a technician and an engineer? What's the difference between a technician and an engineer? I don't know.
So,
A technician and an engineer.
I don't know. Ask your father.
Dad, what's the difference between a technician and an engineer?
what's the difference?
Is there any difference?
In my country, they have difference.
What's the difference?
Engineer, you must graduate from university.